Welcome back to Behind the Brakes. Awesome episode. We have Patrick from Dad's Cards on Instagram, whatnot. Awesome dude. Incredible stories.
That's right, Matt. He had one of the most amazing stories of a missed package opportunity that I think I've ever heard. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Behind the Brakes, man. Patrick, a.k.a. Dad's Cards, Dad's_cards on Instagram. Is that right?
That's right. Thank you, Matt.
All right, man. Yeah, welcome in, brother.
Yes, welcome
Thank
in.
you. RJ,
So,
nice to meet you.
Yeah, hey, great to meet you, man. And I was really excited when you reached out. This episode's going to be awesome. So let's just jump right in, as RJ says. First things first, you're on the road, right? You travel around for work. We won't get into the specific work, but you travel around for work. But you're also working in your room right now. You're getting ready to do a break, is that right, or a show?
I am. Tomorrow, actually, I have a break, and I was just setting it up tonight. And if I'm not flying, I'm bringing the cards with me, and it's a lot better than just sitting at a hotel room or, sitting around doing nothing or walking my shoes to death.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was cool is that we were texting today as we're getting ready to shoot. You travel for work, but you bring your cards because you're going to do a show. And then you text me from a card shop. I mean, this man is committed to the hobby, and I'm here for it, man. Like, it's awesome.
It's one of the best parts about the hobby are the locals. The local card shops are where it's at. I buy as much of the product as I break from locals. I have no direct supplier. I'm not part of an affiliate who gets product and funnels it to me. I get it from friends. I get it from people who don't want to break it and say, we break it for me and we'll split it. Nice. Or I buy it from local card shops. Most of the product I have price tags on them.
It's awesome. I mean, you're out there supporting the folks trying to do the same thing you're doing. I love that.
Right. Keeping the stigma between locals and breakers, nice, happy-go-lucky place.
Well, and that's, we love that here on Behind the Brakes, because that's kind of why we started the podcast. If you know the story, it's so tough breaking. You're talking to yourself. If you have a small crowd, if you're not a big breaker, it's like you talking to yourself over and over. And if you have two people who aren't responding. Anyway, so we started the podcast to give guys like you a little bit of FaceTime so people can get to know you. And so we appreciate that. And we definitely align on that small town and small breaker kind of vibe. So appreciate that.
I love the message you guys bring to the community. It's really fun. I listen very much to every episode and enjoy
right on, man.
who you talk to. They're all right up my alley. I usually get right on and start following them and whatnot after I hear them and get to hear the person behind the break, right?
Right, the guy behind the thing. Sometimes you don't see the face if they don't have OBS, which is, we don't have OBS. We're breaking his 2 packs a day. So anyway, really cool. Appreciate it. So real quick, you've got so many incredible stories. But before that, let's talk about you got back into, or you just got into the hobby recently. Is that right?
Yeah. So I collected baseball and hockey when I was a kid. So I grew up in the 80s, back in the, mass production, no chase cards. So you just hopefully get the guy that you like out of the pack, right? And and that's it. And so that was what I did. I collected Oral Hershiser, Bill Clark, and Patrick Waugh in hockey. Those were my chases when I was a kid growing up. I was a goalie in hockey growing up, and he was my idol. He was a guy I always emulated and wanted to be like. And I grew up north of Detroit in Flint, Michigan. So being in Michigan and a Patrick Waugh fan didn't mix very well. So
that's true.
Yeah, I got a lot of dirty looks in my Waugh jersey going to the Red Wings game.
That's all right. RJ knows all about it. He's a Muggsy Bogues fan from Chicago. So
I heard. Yeah, I heard your plight.
Change it for a thing, So
yeah, but then I got out of it and became, as an adult, an F1 fan. I was always, I knew of F1. Everyone had, the Senna car, the black Lotus. Everyone had the camel yellow Renault. And so I had those growing up. I always knew who Michael Schumacher was and Mario Andretti, and I knew everybody, and Nigel Mansell and all those guys.
Yeah.
But I was, I didn't have a dad or anything that, watched F1 or anything like that. So we became, my family, actually, we all became fans, more recently wouldn't call us Netflix, fans, but we're close enough. And call us
Yeah.
partners if you want, but we are true fans. We watch every Sunday. We subscribe to F1 TV. My daughter has a Chase. We buy the hats. I have a ridiculous amount of hats. The hats were the first part before the cards. My wife was.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have way too many
The
hats.
whole family doing it. That's awesome.
But yeah, so we all got into it, and then I discovered that there were Formula One cards, and it's like, oh my God, there's cards, and immediately got that feeling, when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
like buying cards. I first started buying some on eBay, and then quickly I was like, oh, I need to get more than just this one, this 200 holder box, and then I had to get a bigger box, and then I had to get a bigger box, and then
I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
And then I end up with, stuff like this.
There you go, man. Wait, is that all F1 cards?
Yeah, that's all F1.
Right. After the show, let's talk about something here.
I have another box that's all F2, F3. So
yes,
yeah.
Too many of those.
And then my wife was like, God, how many cards do you have? So then, and I was like, uh-oh, and got in a little too deep and decided it was time to start selling after I found Whatnot. I first got into the social aspect of it with a friend of mine, Katie, who I just met on the way down in my travels. One of the other nice things about traveling for work is that I ship a lot of these cards out to people. So if I know I'm going to be somewhere, I'll shoot them a message and say, hey, I'm coming down. You want to meet up? I've met Shake, actually. I was in Atlanta for work and got to meet Shake and F1 Trades at Cards HQ. And he opened up a Sapphire box in the parking lot and got a Hodge Pad Auto.
Of course, I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard that guy hit something, and I'm just like, man, some people just have all the hands, right?
Yeah, so it's nice. It's really cool to be able to do that and get to meet the people, and see them, and because all I know them mostly as is an avatar, right? Whatever their avatar. Yeah. So I got in a little too deep, and much like kind of Shake did, realized, okay, I need to start doing something with all this now. And so I started basically, speaking of, you guys ask for advice a lot for new breakers coming in. What 100%. I did, my platform for kind of, I guess, making a name for myself, my plan was, first of all, if you don't like your name, don't place an order on Whatnot, because you can't change your name until your orders are fulfilled. So for the longest time, I was Patrick KR. In my street. I wasn't Dad's Cards. I didn't become Dad's Cards until I decided I was going to break. And I was like, what do I want to be? And my daughter's always like, Dad's Cards. Dad's Cards. We were always talking about Dad's Cards as a topic of conversation. So
what's on the table? Dad's Cards.
My daughter's on.
What's on the couch?
Yeah.
Dad's Cards.
Daughter's on Whatnot. She's Daughter's Cards. Mom's on Whatnot. She's Mom's Cards.
Love it, man. The whole family.
Yeah. And my son loves Pokemon, so maybe he'll start. Maybe I need to grab that handle real quick.
You better.
Yeah, right. That was how I kind of got started, got in too deep and realized I had to do something with all of these cards that I ended up doing and made a name for myself in the chats, really. I just started becoming really active in the chats and getting to know people and started, following them on Instagram and then becoming friends, chatting, talking cards, and just trying to get to know the people in the community that I saw all the time. Or the people that were buying big spots or that looked like they were, buyers, or even the people that I knew were PCing someone that I knew I had a lot of. I'm like, okay, I need, talk to those people and send them, be like, hey, I got a bunch of this. And I'm sure at first a lot of the other breakers are like, who the hell is this guy, getting in my chat and trying to, curb deals.
Get out of my chat. What is it you say, RJ? Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of how I just made a name for myself, and with everybody I could, I started buying into a couple of breaks here and there, buying some singles with them, some things, and seeing how people did stuff and packaged things and figured out what I needed and realized I had most of it. My nephew had a 3D printer, so I'm like, hey man, can you make these stands? Because I have the shout out to the Chomsky brothers, but they sent me my first stand in a break, and
all right.
They since make my stands now, but my nephew had a printer and he made me a Dad's Card stand, and he also made me one that said "Wah," which is Kimi Raikkonen's famous tagline. Every time he got asked a question by
Whoa.
the media, he's like, whoa.
The Iceman.
Even better yet, I got some coming to say, yeah, for Oscar, because every interview he does, it's constantly.
That's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
You got the whole family involved in this thing. You got the nephew, you got the husband, the wife, you got the daughter.
So, but so I just made a name for myself, and then announced my first show. Singles show. I had all these cards sitting here, right? What am I going to do with them? And didn't realize not to hit list individually when I did it, and I put 999 singles in my first show listed individually that I ended up deleting on one of my walks. Delete. So I'm like, trial and error. By that point, I had made good friends with another breaker by the tag Wiljer, Wiljeljer. He's a good guy. He's one of Scott P1 Castle's affiliates. And we had been texting back and forth. He'd been kind of helping me, show me the ropes a little bit. We got on, and my first show had 40 people saved it. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. 40 people saved my first show. I'm like, this is going to be no pressure. And I log on, I get on the laptop. I have my phone set up for the camera. I don't have any of the OBS. I still don't. I'm very just low key about it, and just go from my phone and have the laptop to the side. And I started the show from my laptop, and it's asking me to use the camera. I'm like, no, I'm not using the camera. I'm going to use my phone. So I start the show. But there's no camera and there's no mic because I had the mic turned off and everything's going to and I have like 40 people show up to the show immediately, and there's no picture. And immediately Wiljer's calling me, right? He's like, hey, what's going on?
Dude.
I'm like, I know
what's happening.
I don't know what to do. There's no camera, don't see. And so he walks me through it. We shut it down. I was like, I don't know if I have everything loaded up. I don't have another show loaded. What happens if I stop the show? It's done. I didn't know. So for a new breaker, new advice, you can restart a show within 2 hours after you close it.
Okay.
Or at least it was before the last update. You never know. So
I can attest to that. I've come into a show and then things happen and you pop out of it. You're like, technical difficulties, I'm coming back. I swear. So
that's usually when you're about to open up the another pack or something.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. Technical difficulties as soon as that 101 shows up.
Honestly, that's probably one of the biggest fears for all of us, isn't it?
Know.
Right? I mean, because I think integrity is important to every single person that's doing this. And RJ, I was by myself here. I probably tell the story too much. It's a podcast, for God's sakes, but my phone died.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do everything and my damn phone died. I get it, man. I make all the errors.
That happened.
I think that's what people don't, just like you're saying, people don't realize, it's the showmanship on our side. Like, yeah, you're putting on the show, but at the same time, there's like fears and frustrations that are happening behind the camera of, oh, that didn't rip properly. I can't, oh no, I ran out of, sleeves. There's all this other things going on that you get to enjoy the cards and opening them, but there's that just heightened level of like, someone else is entrusting you to handle their card with as much care as possible. And you don't want to let that person down.
Yeah. Before I got in on Whatnot, I sold some cards offline, and I sold some pretty decent cards. And my wife's like, someone just PayPal'd you that much money? Like a stranger? I'm like, yeah. And I sent him a picture of the label, and I'm sending it in the mail. And I actually go kind of above and beyond. I usually take a video when I sell something offline. I usually video packaging it up and send the video to them so that I've actually.
Is that like for a really high end type of product?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a stack of base cards, like I sent. There's a guy at Disney that whenever he's an F1 fan, he works there. And whenever he sees an F1 person, he always talks to them. And sometimes whenever he's had extra cards, he's handed them out. Well, I have piles of base cards, right? I sent him, I think, 400 base cards and a bunch of other stuff he was looking for, and a couple of things of each driver to hand out to people at Disney that he sees wearing like F1 gear.
Oh, that's cool.
There. So
hobby everywhere.
Yeah, so I met him actually through my original connection, Katie, that I just met on the way down here. So it's
very cool.
It's a really small and fun community, but So the first show again, sorry to talk a lot, but I ended up getting back online, doing it right. Again, advice piece: start your show from your phone, never from your laptop if you're going to use your phone.
Yep.
Because you'll end up doing what I did. I lost like half the people, I gained some back. I ended up doing, I think, like $600 or $700 in my first single show, my first show ever.
Man.
So I was like, there we go. All right, I
Yeah.
did something right. And one of the best parts about this is I get complimented all the time about my streams, how much people enjoy it. They just send me a message, and there's absolutely nothing that makes me feel any better about this whole deal than hearing that they enjoyed the stream. Some of them, don't even buy, not necessarily a buyer, but people enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's really,
I can attest to that.
I want people to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. If it's not fun, you got to figure out what made it fun and get back to that.
Well, I think your knowledge of the of what you're breaking is huge. I think the products you have are super cool. I mean, the stuff I got from you when I was doing research. In fact,
research.
It's actually sitting right next to me. Ironically, the stuff is incredible. Like incredible. I mean, oh my God. Actually, I was going to talk to you offline. I need a fix of this stuff, man. I mean, he's got, what is it, 90 or 91, 92. Anyway, I broke down. I broke down. It was, but I think your showmanship, the way you treat people, your integrity comes through. You're an authentic guy. I mean, you're doing it and you enjoy it, and I think that comes through. And I think people spending their hard-earned money want that. They don't want to be screamed at. We talk about this a lot too.
Yeah.
They don't want to be screamed at. Or you can get in a show with RJ and get 1,000 cards for $10 because we're just pumping it. So and it's fun. We try to have fun with our shows. So
yeah,
I think that speaks
really
to it.
Intrigued to watch your tower show. I got to get in on one of those. I steal all the best ideas I see. Everything you see me do, I stole from somebody else. It's it's all I saw somebody else do, and I'm like, that's a great idea. I'm going to try that. Maybe put my spin on it or whatever it may be. But it's all stuff I've learned from other breakers doing it. I take the best of everyone I see. I watched Shake and got in all of his, Scott and all of his, and just got as involved as I could and to understand it, before I really got in. And last thing I wanted to do was fail. A lot of the advice I've heard on your show is be prepared to lose money.
Yeah.
Which, I lost money up front as I started amassing a collection of cards that I just found out existed, right? And I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I had no idea what I was buying. I was buying like lots of Piastri car cards and paying, like $30 for 30 of those, and which turned out okay now, but it's still, I didn't know what I was buying. I was like, ooh, a bunch of Piastri rookies, and I was buying Piastri before it was cool, and
or valuable, whichever word.
Yeah, right. That too. Like I'm looking and I'm like, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, honey, all these cards that I've been buying, they're all worth something all of a sudden now. Like the market for F1 has just amassed so fast in such a short amount of time. And the flagship 2020, it's $2,000 a box.
Yes. Yes, I know.
By the way, there was a guy at the Detroit Sports Card Spectacular this weekend that I was at that was supposedly walking around with it in hand for $1,500, and I couldn't.
At that point, you just write a big sign and you hold it up. You're like,
I was yelling.
I'm looking for it.
I was yelling, who's got the 2020 F1? I was screaming.
You brought up a really great point, actually, a second ago of because we talked to a lot of breakers, right? And you brought up a really great point of like when you break, it's like how you're saying, be prepared to lose money because you're buying that product up front. Where like you're saying, like I was just collecting it, like I already amassed all that stuff, and I got to keep the stuff that like is good to me. Because you're gonna come as a single show person or even a collector, right? You're gonna have your own collection and be like, I don't really care for this person, but somebody else out there does. So the fact that you're kind of going in and fulfilling what someone's looking for on their end, because as we've talked with a lot of F1, some of the F1 other card collectors, like they have a very particular set list that they're looking for or item, that it's, not like how you're saying, since it's only been out for a couple of years, the hunt for those cards is a little bit more intense than say like a normal, baseball card that's already been around for 15 years that you can kind of get quite a bit of.
Yeah, the chases in F1 are interesting and intriguing too. I mean, I sold a green Lewis helmet to another breaker who's trying to put together a green 24 chrome helmet set, and I sold him the green Lewis for less than I should have, but he also gave me a spot in a break. So I ended up with some base cards, so it's all worked out, and it's part of his collection now. And I love being that. There's another guy in the community who's trying to get, and he's battling against another person. They're trying to collect all the 2023 Isaac Hadjar autograph refractor autos. A couple of people in the community, two of them that are literally battling over every 2023 Hadjar spot that exists. One of the guys, he's trying to get to 200, and he's at 99 right now. Last I heard, I think last night. And I want to get 100. I want to buy one just so I can sell him 100. So I can be 100.
There you go.
Part of that collection. I like that. That's the best part about it, is being part of people's collections. Most people, if you bought from me before, you usually get more than what you've paid for, because I just like to randomly throw stuff in packs and that I'm shipping out, or if I know you're collecting someone, or if you didn't hit, usually something gets snagged out and out of the box sitting next to me and put it in your pack. Because
I got a bunch of Mario Andretti's, so it's not like you're throwing trash in there. You're throwing like real dudes. I got a bunch of Mario Andretti's. I'm like, no. This is just extra. So, yeah, that was pretty sweet.
I got a picture the other day from a guy who I sent one of those packs to, and he was like, it's like a God pack. It was all Senna and Mansell and all the best images in the series. Even the camera card in that series, there's a camera card. TV camera is the card. TV camera. And it's got a picture of, I think it's Mansell's Renault with a giant camera on it. Got to be screwed up the aerodynamics ridiculously. There's this
getting that shot
just sitting on the top of it, but there's a card in that series of that, and I was like, you even got the camera card. It's like, that's the hardest hit.
So where are you getting your product now? Is it breaks? I mean, I know you go to shops. You were at a shop
local
today.
Card shops, eBay, if I can find deals. I always try to deal off of eBay if I can. As a matter of fact, that pack you got, the 91 Pro Tracks, I got from a guy who lives about 45 minutes from me, and I stopped on my way to another work trip and met him. He was selling it on eBay. I reached out. I saw he was very close to me, and I was like, let's talk. And so I ended up picking that up. So I get most of my product from locals, other breakers, singles. I get in some breaks to support my other friends in the community.
Let's talk about those guys, because you have an IG group of small breakers that are helping each other out, and you know what, I'm happy to.
They're gonna love hearing that. The Card Homies. That's actually the title of the IG group, and it's a bunch of us. And one of the guy I was telling you who collects sunglasses cards, Dave. Yeah. He's in there, and that's the little emoji of the sunglasses emoji is the little icon of our Card Homies group, and we chat back and forth, send memes back and forth, reels, talk, show off our stuff, sell each other things.
That's awesome, man.
Is
that growing? Are you guys accepting? Are you accepting new applicants? If somebody wants to join you guys?
We just accepted Mr. G Collects. He's a new breaker on Whatnot. It's the little guys. We're the little guys. You know, we're not part of an affiliate. We're just one person, going to Vistaprint to get our stuff made up, getting recommendations and referrals from other people as to get a brake mat. I just got my brake mat. I don't have it with me because I didn't want to bring it to the hotel.
Yeah.
But I just got my brake mat. The picture I sent you earlier that's what it is. There.
That's your setup. Yeah, we'll drop that if you're watching right now. It's up there.
Yeah.
But listen, how many people are in the homies group? Where are we at right now?
I think we're only at like five or six.
Oh, come on, man. We need to grow this thing.
It's pretty tight knit. It's a pretty elite group of little guys.
Okay. There's a special knock. There's a special knock at the door here. It's like
there could be.
Easy.
Let you guys in. You might get a special pass. So
we'll love it, man.
You guys
just gotta tell them the password.
Into the life of the little guy breakers, in F1.
Hey man, we're little guy podcasters, just talking to guys like us that love the cards, love the hobby. So, all right, so you gave some awesome tips. Engage, and I think that's critical. I mean, I spend a lot of time engaging, but you were engaging on Whatnot, talking to people, getting to know who's who and who's buying what. brilliant idea. That's a great tip. Something I actually hadn't thought of for new breakers. Get in there and start learning what people are doing. And then don't start on your phone. You know, don't
start on
Don't
your
start
laptop.
on the
Start on
laptop.
your phone.
excuse me.
You're
Don't start on your laptop.
Going for the camera, and it's not connected to your laptop or OBS.
Yeah, so that's good. You know, before we pivot off, what any last tip, big tip for somebody interested in jumping in?
I made some notes actually because I knew that this was great for it, but
It's a test, so
on social, that's huge. That's a big part of the Card Homies group. Is we share each other's break posts or in our stories. We're constantly cross promoting each other. I love cross promoting the other breakers. My break mat that I've had forever is Three Kings Sports Cards, which is an amazing local card shop in Detroit.
okay, very cool.
And a breaker on Whatnot. Three Kings Sports Cards. They're fantastic. They have a shop that rivals most.
No kidding.
Small, but
all right,
beautiful.
RJ field trip.
Yes.
Field trip to
Yeah.
Detroit.
Let's go.
But yeah, so they're my guy. You know, they're one of my locals that I support and have supported me. So they gave me one of their mats and a stand, you know, a card stand, and you know, before I amassed all my stuff. But promote yourself on social. Get yourself a group of friends. Find out, you know, that can help you cross promote yourself and get to know the other breakers, because most of us are really super helpful, and it was another one of us who helped each other, right? Like it was Wilger who helped me get through the dark times, literally with no camera. I've had plenty of people reach out to me and ask me about stuff, or ask just about cards. They're new to collecting and they constantly reach out and ask like, hey, what's a parallel? You know, what's an ADGP, you know, which is an insert in F1. And, you know, so there's a lot of that. And I think I get a lot of that just because, like you mentioned, you know, hopefully present that I care, that I give a crap about my people in my breaks. I truly do. It's their satisfaction that makes this fun. So that's,
and I think another big thing that, you probably wouldn't say this is a tip because it's just naturally who you are, but integrity is huge. And this is where we're going to jump into the story of where your integrity is. I mean, it's not a surprise, but it's awesome, and the story's awesome. So you ordered, help me out. I'm going to try to walk us to it, but I don't want to leave any of the good bits out here. So you ordered a case.
Through the text messages that I had to refresh all my memories.
Well, yeah, but it's all right. But so you ordered a case, and help me out, of F1, right? It was a case of F1.
I ordered a case of Topps F1 Finest. The price came out. It was $1,900 from Dave and Adams. You know, if you were going to buy more than one, that was the release price for them. And I missed out on the Topps release, so I was trying to get some, and the price started going up. It got up to about $25.50 a case real fast. And I found another really big breaker on a platform, and they were selling cases of Finest, and they had it for $2,069. And they had 3, and they were selling them. And so I was like, I wish I could have gotten all 3, but I could get one. So I got one, and they were selling they're single boxes as well. So I got a single box for a Percy and ordered it up. Kind of waited for the shipping notification. I'm like, okay. I didn't want to say anything because these guys obviously didn't realize that the price had gone up, right? They hadn't adjusted their prices for the market yet. And I got a deal. And I knew it, and I didn't want to raise any red flags about this purchase. So I'm just kind of waiting for the message to show up.
Waiting.
So finally, I'm like, you know, hey, can you tell me when my case of Finest will ship? And they're like, oh, yes, it'll ship tomorrow, whatever. Like, great, thanks. I get it. I open, it's a box with a case and then a bunch of bubble wrap. So much bubble wrap, so much. I couldn't even find the single box of Finest because it was wrapped in like so much bubble wrap. And I get to the case.
So wait, it's one box?
It's a box.
One box.
One box. Inside that box is the case of Finest and single box for my Percy. And with a bunch of bubble wrap all over it, right?
All right.
They did a great job packaging it up and sending it to protect it and everything. But immediately when I looked at the box, I'm like, the Topps tape is gone. And there's like you can see the corrugation in the cardboard, like where some of the cardboard is ripped off with the tape. And there's an address label on it. Why? There's a label with like a blank label covering the address label that was on it already. I'm like, this is not a sealed case. So I immediately get out the camera and I start filming me opening this.
Oh, that was really smart.
Brilliant. Yes.
Yeah.
And another tip, and I'm not going to ever do it again, always. Anything you order, film it, opening it from the label. Sealed label, start filming from the open.
All right.
Don't get caught with any All My Children cards.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So I start filming, I open it, and I'm like, I looked at the box too, and I'm filming it. I'm like, this doesn't look like a case. And I'm like, this doesn't look like, and I have a couple of boxes of Finest, empty boxes, and I'm like, I don't think they would fit in here. You know, there's supposed to be 8 in here. I don't think this. So
Your mind's just racing. Like, what?
I'm like, what
is going on?
So I open the box, and inside it is more packaging, and it's the free packaging you get from the post office. And inside of all of that is a couple of white boxes, like shipping boxes you get in a break. And inside are about 300 or 400 soccer singles.
But not just any soccer singles.
Well, I'm gutted, right? I'm like, soccer. I love soccer. I do. I absolutely love soccer. I've played it a lot. I watch it all the time.
But not this much.
I don't want soccer cards. I want to break. I've been telling everyone I'm getting a case of Finest. I want to break my Finest.
Man, your heart, man, had to be in your gut.
So I start, going through them, and I'm like, hang on a second. And I get to one stack, and there's a stack of Ronaldo relics about that tall. I'm look it up, and each one, $50 each minimally, if not 100. I'm like, okay, start digging through some more. I'm like, there's a camo Lionel Messi 2016 Select Prism.
I love soccer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know enough, right? I know enough about it by now that I know that that's something. And then I start flipping some more, and then there's Ronaldo, and then there's another, and then there's all these others, and there's so many. And then I end up getting to the grail of this hit, I guess.
Oh, there's more?
It was an orange to 25 Ronaldo auto, which I couldn't even find a comp. I couldn't even find one that even shown up.
My goodness.
And so going through it all, there's way more than what I paid for the Finest in this box. But I'm like, I'm befuddled. I'm trying to figure out, what is this? Why did I get this? Why is this in my possession now? And I start texting them. They don't believe me. They don't believe me. The seller didn't believe me, and I'm chatting back and forth with them. I'm like, I told them even, and I hope it didn't happen, but it might have. You'll find out by the end of the story. I told them, I might be saving you from a life or a job disaster here, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You sent
me your wrong cards.
He sent me a picture of my case, the one they sent me, with the tops tape ripped off of it and the corrugated cardboard sticking right out in the open with an address label on it, and said, we assure you this is a sealed case. There's the picture from our shipping department. And I'm like, hello? Did you not zoom in?
Look at the picture.
You don't even really have to zoom. He's like, we assure you it's a sealed case. Wouldn't believe me. And then I sent him pictures of the cards. Like, all right, now I've committed myself, right? It's out there in the open that I have these cards now forever. And I'm like, okay, so whatever I do, it's out there. So I sent him pictures of the cards. I'm like, look at here. There's a lot of cards here that are worth a lot of money. Looked them up.
Don't argue with me anymore.
Someone's missing these cards. Someone's gutted. So I'm sitting there, and I started sending him, like, I'm start detective, right? I said, become detective dads. And I'm like, do you guys do grade submissions? This could be someone's grade submission to you guys. Maybe it's, do you guys do breaks? Have you done a 2016 Select soccer break? Can you look up someone who got Barcelona in 20? So
you're more invested in solving this problem than the seller.
Begging the seller to take these damn soccer cards back that are worth way more than what I paid for my Finest case, because I want my Finest F1 cards. And
fair enough.
And someone's gutted, right? Someone is massively gutted about these cards not being where they're supposed to be. And if it were me, if I hit those or sent those somewhere and they got lost, I mean, are you kidding? That's terrible. So
ruin your day any day.
They end up kind of ghosting me. And I even sent them the video of me opening the box on Instagram to them. So I start doing more detective work, and I ripped they had like a blank, when you hit the printer on your shipping label and just prints a blank one. They had that covering the existing shipping label that was on that. So I ripped that off. There's a name on it. Instagram. hi, your name
Nice.
and address is on this most recent box of Topps Finest that was supposed to be Finest that I ordered from so-and-so. Do you have any affiliation with these people? Do you know anything? And a couple of days go by, and then I look up who all the people are, who the leadership is of this company, and they're big. They've got multiple.
The seller? You're talking about the seller?
Seller's big. They've
Okay.
got multiple brick and mortar throughout the country, and also sell and whatnot and break and whatnot. So it's not a small time operation. They're selling cases on whatnot. So
Maybe that's the problem here.
So I reach out to as many people that I can find that are associated with this, and I don't hear anything back for a few days. And finally, I'm just sitting here sweating it the whole time. I don't know what to do here. Either way, I make out. I'll call my credit card company and show them me begging to send them the wrong stuff back to them. You know what I mean? Get a charge back and get myself 10 grand worth of soccer cards is what I could have done.
Could have.
But I kept my detective work going, and the guy on the address label finally reached out, and he says, yeah, that's my company. And I said, really? Thank goodness. Here's what happened. And I explain everything. And he just replies, that's crazy. And then I sent him the picture of the 4 cards that were in my hand that were worth $5,000 that I was holding. And I said, I'm not joking. And he said, he was typing, and then you know how the little dots go away? And then they come back. He says, I'll have someone call you immediately. And I'm like,
oh my goodness.
I'm at my son's taekwondo. I'll have to do it at 7.
Man.
That's a dad's card move right
I'm always
there.
a dad. Always a dad.
Love it, man.
7 o'clock rolls on the dot, punctuality. Someone in his management team calls me, and I said, so do you need to know the story? He's like, oh, I know the story. I'll tell you exactly what happened. He hit those cards on Lupe in a break, like a massive break. Like, you don't hit that amount of Ronaldo relics in a small break.
Yes.
That was a massive break on Lupe. So apparently the owner hit those cards on Lupe. They were set in, and they were received as Topps Finest in his shipping department, and then shipped to me. So the guy said, I've got your, they were fantastic. Once I got to someone who wasn't the person I was chatting with, amazing. And had I reached out to them before, I'd be sitting here preaching their name and telling them how great they are, but I don't have their authorization, so I'm not going to do that. So he's like, I'm making you an overnight address label right now. I'm going to send it in a different time zone. So like, I'm sending it tonight, and you're going to have it. You're going to have your Topps Finest case. And then he's like, who's your favorite driver? And of course, I'm a dumbass, and I'm honest, and I have integrity. And I'm like, Kimi Räikkönen. And of course, he's not in the product currently. Well, he is right now, but he hasn't, and for a minute, right? There's not a lot. And I'm like, why didn't I say someone like Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton or, what was I thinking? And I'm like,
damn it, honesty.
And I quickly pivoted. And I'm like, but he's not really in the product anymore. He's like, well, I'm going to send you something. He's like, I was like, I like Lewis. Lewis is, fantastic. So is Max. And so I start, and he's as if he's looking, right? As if he's like looking at a display case. He's like, I'm going to send you this Lewis Hamilton Dynasty card. I immediately knew there hasn't been a single Lewis Hamilton Dynasty card that hasn't sold for less than $1,700 on eBay. Any of them, right? So I'm like, okay, must be mistaken. I'm believing when I see it, right? And sure enough, right on top of my case in another box was the Lewis Hamilton 4 out of 10 Ineos logo, big logo, patch, relic, auto, on-card auto of Lewis Hamilton, 4 out of 10. Comps are 25 and 3,000. 2.5 to 3 stacks was the gift that was given to me for helping out the owner. Apparently the owner said, when he said to call me, apparently he said, take care of this guy.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of my cards that I've been missing. It all worked out in the end, and it was quite a roller coaster. I was worried for quite a while what I'm going to do about the money that I was out and what to do about the cards. I don't want to sell these things, even if I don't get it worked out somehow. I don't.
Yeah, you just felt like they're not mine, right?
Orange Ronaldo auto, that's going to bring some attention, especially an F1 guy. How did this F1 dad's guy get a bunch of soccer monsters and nukes?
Monsters. Well, I mean, that's just an incredible story, first of all, but it speaks to like integrity. I mean, you always win, right, when you do the right thing, but good for you, man. And
Yeah, it felt
speaks volumes
really good.
for who you are and what you're doing.
Got a
Love it.
interested buyer right now, actually. We'll see.
You're not holding on to that thing?
I've been holding on to it, but I'm still I still got to get to that break even point from that initial investment. You know what I mean?
All right. Fair
I
enough.
lose money at the start, but I still haven't made the money.
Well, it's coming, man, because you're doing things right, and you're a good guy. Your shows are incredible, so it's coming. You got this groundswell of people, and your Instagram buddies. But hey, before we kind of sign off, you wanted to chat about a young kid up there that's trying to chase his dream. Tell us that story real quick.
So
up there in Wisconsin,
one of the card homies is out in Wisconsin, and he's got an amazing story about his breaking and how he got started to do it. He is actually he's a college student who is an aspiring karter, trying to get into karting and working his way up. He's actually doing pretty good. But he started breaking and doing like pull games, and I don't know how he does it, but somehow he somehow ends up with monsters, like a purple Sapphire Lewis graded. I'm like, that's in a pull game? I'm like, what are you doing? And
yeah.
Like, where are you getting these cards? But he's just investing. He went to his local card shop and just kept buying as much as he could and doing 1 and 2 box. All of the people that buy into his breaks and that buy his spots, they get their name signed on his karting helmet. And
that's so
he
cool.
gets all the attention at the track. All the other racers are like, that's so cool. What are you doing? He's been talking about it in his streams. So if you get in on his breaks, you get your name on it. And for whatever reason, he still won't put my name on the visor. I've been begging him. I'm like, on the visor, man, come on.
That could be a problem, Patrick.
So it's great. So all the people who have supported his karting career, because it's expensive for him, he gets his money through breaks. He buys product from local card shops or other breakers, or gets in on breaks, and just acquires the product wherever he can and puts it into a really fun. All of my best ideas came from him.
Yeah.
All of my high bid ideas, all my pull game ideas. He's the one I steal all my best ideas from. So I'm like, that's just fun. I watch it. I'm like, that is so much fun. And people actually kind of pay a premium for his breaks because it's supporting him, right? There's that extra little donation factor. And
of course, man, helping this young fella chase his dream. I mean,
when you buy in,
how can you not be romantic about that?
When you buy in,
impact of the hobby, man. It's not just collecting pictures of men and women, of course, but it's you can do so much more, and the community aspect. I love it, man. So good for him. We'll drop his
that
stuff.
Is Squires Racing.
Yeah, we'll drop all that stuff in the show notes. Your whole well, maybe not your IG homie, since it's a secret society of some sorts. But we are giving them a little love.
I'll name drop as many as you'll let me to, because we're the little guys. We'll take everything we can get,
That's what we're here for, man. But no, we'll drop all that in the show notes, and cannot thank you enough for being here. This has been awesome. We absolutely love the stories. This has been a lot of fun. It's almost like we don't have enough time to tell all the stories, but it's been a blast. I appreciate the relationship. We're getting started here, and I appreciate your breaks, and I'll continue to be in them.
Awesome.
Keep buying those 91 stuff. But again, Patrick, it's been awesome. Yeah. Dad's Cards on Instagram. Get in there. Your Dad's Cards on Whatnot as well, right?
Yeah, Dad's_cards on Whatnot in Instagram. Yep, both the same. Dad's-cards-F1 on eBay, because they don't have underscores.
Do better, eBay.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, Benson, really appreciate having you. It's been a blast. And
yes, been awesome having you on. Thanks so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Keep at it, man.
I love you guys' show. Love what you do for the community. Love the message and all the small time support and helping support the people that are really just doing this because they love it, and having that part be supported by people like you and giving us exposure means the world to us. And it's been awesome being on here, and I can't wait to be on again.
It's all about making new friends to buy beers wherever we are in the country. That's all it's about, man.
All right. Next time I'm out anyway, I'm coming, and we're going to be going to some local card shops and fingering through the dollar bin.
Let's do it, man. All right, Patrick, Dad's Cards. Appreciate it, and we will see you soon. Thanks for listening to Behind the Brakes. We appreciate you being here with us and helping us grow this community. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
Make sure to like, follow, or subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.